This is Whangarei, gateway to New Zealand's scenic north. With stunning beaches and coves, it's a playground in summer. But in autumn, this becomes the ultimate playground for the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship.
Rally Whangarei 2017, we've come here with the same attack to be at the top. We've come to win Rally Whangarei 2017.
It's round 2 of 6 and there's plenty of points available.
The focus this weekend is definitely getting to the finish.
And experience really counts on these roads.
I'm going out to win, but I'll be happy with the top 3 finish.
And another new car joins the AP4 ranks.
For us, it's about trying to learn the car as quick as we can and be as fast as we can, obviously. I don't like going slow.
New cars, old cars, great roads, but trying conditions. This is the International Rally of Whangarei.
Welcome to the International Rally of Whangarei, round 2 of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. And this is New Zealand rallying on show. Our boys and girls against some of the world's best drivers on some of the world's best roads.
And this is the opening round of the Asia Pacific Rally Championship as well. Drivers from India, Norway, Finland, Sweden, Japan join our Kiwi drivers.
This year in the NZRC, the big hype is on these new AP4 rally cars. We've still got our trusty old Mitsubishi Evo 10. We think it's just as good as these new cars. We've proven it, the speed's there. Last year at Whangarei, we were right there at the top, winning day 1 from the start of it. It shows that this old girl still got it. Best part about this car is this year we've actually improved the car and made it even faster and handle better. So it's going to be cool this year going against all these new AP4s. Another new one debuted at this event. So we really want to give it to them and beat them out there on these stages.
And Greg Murphy makes his debut on the AP4 Holden Barina.
I'm doing it really because I can't stop driving a rally car. I just love it. I've fallen in love with it, and it's a passion now that every time we come to an end of a stage, and as long as you've got to the end of the stage, you're sort of like, well, I just want to do another one. You get to an end of a rally and you want to keep going. And I think rallying is a form of the sport where the driver plays such a big part of it. We've got some amazing cars out there, and all of them are slightly different in many ways, but I think the drivers make the big difference. And so much of it is about what you do, and what I'm doing is going out there and enjoying what I'm doing. I'm not trying to become a professional rally driver. I'm here to be a part of the Rally Championship and part of rallying in New Zealand and take in all these amazing events that happen and be a part of it and hopefully support it and grow it.
This is also the much anticipated world debut for the Audi S1 AP4, built in New Zealand for Dylan Turner.
Audi for me is the brand. It's been a road car that I've had for many, many years. And you go back to 1993, which was the last time that the Audi Quattro S1 was rallied in here internationally. And as a kid watching those cars, growing up around those fire-breathing dragons, as they were nicknamed, you're standing in the forest, it's dark, and you just hear this noise coming down. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up, you've got goosebumps. And then all of a sudden it appears around this corner, it breathes fire like a dragon, and it was just, as a kid, I was just like, wow, I want to do that. Our Audi S1 AP4, built to the AP4 platform. We looked at the R5 platform of engine and thought, it's something we want to try and replicate. So we used an Audi block, an Audi head, and pretty much the A1 frame, obviously, is our chassis. We've got X-Track gearbox and diff, which is pretty much what the R5s run. There's a lot of technology in the car. There's a lot of learning for me to do in the car, but it's an awesome car. It's a car that you have to drive, though. You can't take it too easy. But once you get into the swing of it, it's just amazing to drive. It sounds the real deal. And yeah, hopefully we can, get some excitement out of it and get some fans cheering.
Round 1 Rally Otago saw David Holder take maximum points in his first rally for Hyundai New Zealand and Pattern Rally Sport. So Holger leads on 41 points from Hawkeswood on 33, then Featherston and Gardner just a point apart in third and fourth. A large spectator turnout at Friday night start in the city. Greg Murphy, a draw card for the fans. But on track for the first two Superstage, it was APRC Skoda defending champion Gurav Gill who was fastest, with his new teammate OC Vaby just 2.5 seconds behind. Sloane Cox, true to form, leading the NZRC and just 0.2 behind Vaby. Ben Hunt seemed to have put his problems at Otago behind him, fourth place. And in fifth place, Phil Campbell making a start to the championship in his Evo 9 Mitsubishi. Graham Featherston rounding out the top five with the Kiwis separated by a little over 5 seconds.
Welcome back to the International Rally of Whangarei, an event renowned for its stunning scenic roads. But it's the city itself that has been developing some iconic scenery lately, including the amazing Whangarei Art Gallery.
We're on the cusp of developing the Whangarei Art Centre with Whangarei Art Gallery. Behind us here is Te Kakano, and Te Kakano is the first step in this process. Te Kakano is the test bed for what is going to be the Whangarei Art Centre. And over my shoulder here is the building that is going to be converted to the centre. It will contain 2 galleries, the Whangarei Art Centre and the Whangarei Maori Art Gallery, which will be the only contemporary Maori art gallery in the world.
Karpais are looking forward to seeing that grow over the next few years. Now, the rally headed north of Whangarei for the 29.78 Ripanui stage. Overnight, NZRC leader Sloane Cox greeted with wet conditions after torrential rain and overnight rain hit the area. So, Patrick, already we can see that visibility is going to be an issue for Cox.
And Sloane's only a few corners into the stage, and already there is severe mist building up in that screen. They've ripped everything, including the aircon, out of these cars, so Sloane could well be struggling at the end of 30 kilometres in the stage.
Still plenty of grip, though, on these amazing roads. Cox, 17 minutes, 22.4, but he has a 10-second penalty after confusion at the service this morning. David Holder had taken it easy on the super stages. He was 10th overnight, but now a chance to see the full potential of his Hyundai i20.
And Dave will have a lot of confidence in this car after Rally Otago, but these roads are completely different.
Holder faster than Cox by just 1.3 seconds. So now Andrew Hawkeswood comes here in second place in the championship. The Mazda definitely a top car on these roads.
We had a really good result at Rally Otago, went second place. It didn't quite go to plan. At first would have, bagging some more points would have been better. Apart from the road penalties we got, I was pretty happy with the way we were driving. We're here this weekend we're here to win, but we have to be mindful of the big prize, which is the championship at the end of the year. So we've just got to keep bagging points and keep an eye on the prize, really.
Last year, Matt Summerfield broke down in the super stage, so being here on the stage on Saturday morning is a real confidence boost.
And Matt would have been holding his breath all last night until he got round that corner. But now he's through it, he'll be one to watch in this car as he's a super fast driver.
And a good time too, just 0.6 down on Cox. Darren Galbraith had replaced his engine between rounds after it was damaged during the final stages at Otago. He was another 1.3 seconds slower than Summerfield, but the 5th place Kiwi. Emma Gilmore came away from Otago with no points, so it's important that she scores here. She has plenty of experience on these roads and with this car.
So Rally Whangarei last year we finished second, then we went to Rally Canterbury and we had our first win. So Since then, not so good. You know, looking like a racehorse. We've had a second, we had a first, and then there's a few X's against our name. So really, the secret is we've just got to finish. And yeah, the car's got the speed. No, we can do it. So yeah, the focus this weekend is definitely getting to the finish.
Well, there's a lot of excitement around this car, I can tell you that. The Audi S1 AP4, built by Choice Motorsport for Dylan Turner.
Obviously, I was pretty nervous going into the day this morning, but the car felt good from the first corner. And I think the best and biggest thing about the car is just how stable it is in the high-speed stuff. It just seems to get that grip so quick and so easy. And as the day progressed, we just pushed a little bit harder and harder, and the car just works. If you drive it harder, it works heaps better.
It's a highly developed Mitsubishi that Graham Featherstone campaigns, but like Matt Summerfield, Graham is fighting against new technology. Impressive results then that he came 8th here. Also looking for a top result, Glenn Inkster.
3 years ago, I started my role with the TV on this very stage. Now we get to go and try for ourselves. It's pretty cool, can't wait.
Well, whether it's reporting, presenting or driving, Glenn brings 100% to the sport. But, like Emma Gilmore, he really needs points from this rally, and certainly, this Skoda is the real deal.
Another driver to watch is former Bathurst winner Greg Murphy, taking a break from reporting duties pit side of the V8 Supercars to be part of the new two-car Holden Barina team. Go Murph!
It's a bit hard to see where he's going though. It's not uncommon for new cars to have little problems, but in this case with the Demister not up to spec, it's more than just a little problem for Murph.
And after engine issues cut short his Rally Otago on day one, Clinton Cunningham back home on home turf here in the north, getting more miles under his belt in the Ford Focus.
Everybody get that rhythm nice and smooth. Take a breath. Okay. It's 450 to a flat 6 left plus 200.
And that's a familiar voice to me. Crunch has co-driven for me in the past and many other drivers, and he's using his experience to help guide Clint through these tricky stages.
But unfortunately they would retire on the next stage with technical issues. Stage 4 Aramahoe just 14 kilometres, and the rain was beginning to fall heavily as the cars entered the stage. Sloan Cox would successfully appeal his 10-second penalty, but for now he was focusing on getting through these conditions in the fastest possible time.
It's weather for ducks out there right now, but through the muck there is still surprising grip on these stages, and these cars are still going fast.
6 left in 20, 5 right 30, pressed into 6 right opens, 30, 6 right to last.
David Holder faster than Cox in this stage, putting him 2 seconds behind Cox if the 10-second penalty was removed.
But David won't know for sure if that penalty will stick. He needs to build a gap to have a comfortable lead. But looking at these roads, slippery clay on the inside of each corner, all David's probably thinking about is getting this car to the finish.
But the stage winner here was Darren Galbraith, making the best of the conditions and putting him up to 3rd in the NZRC as the conditions got worse.
In stage 4, the rain really turned up the wick, and it was going along 4th, 5th gear, and it just started raining, and I had the window wipers tapped out, and could barely see through, so it was a bit of a pull it back a wee bit so you can actually see where we're going, but yeah, part of the challenges, and got to the end, so yeah, bit of luck.
Emma Gilmore doing her best to get the most out of the Suzuki, despite it sliding wide at the rear over the cambered corners.
After the first stage, the car was handling really well. I just felt it was lacking a bit of grip in the rear over some of the bigger cambers, which is quite unique to the roads up here. So I just made some suspension changes, which I can do on the go. So the suspension we have in the car is 3-way adjustable. So I just made a few clicks adjustment to try and improve the grip, but I kind of went the wrong way, which, I don't know. It was the rain. It was just too much to think about. But but testament to the car and the window we've got it in with it set up. It's still handled well in the slippery conditions, but it probably would have handled better if I'd gone the right way.
Dylan Turner moving up to 6th, but these conditions challenging in a brand new car. Andrew Hawkswood lost some time, just couldn't clear the torrential water off his screen.
Stage 3 was good. It was good for us. We weren't too far off the pace, a couple of seconds off David, and I was pretty happy with that. There was a good group of guys there. 6 odd cars within 6 seconds, and that's what the championship's about. And we were in the middle of the pack, and I was pretty happy. But unfortunately, the second stage today, the windscreen fogged up a bit, and we lost a bit of time at the first part of the stage. And it went downhill from there, really.
Graham Featherston and Phil Campbell going toe-to-toe on this stage. It was Featherston who has a couple of seconds advantage. But Campbell showing good speed after nearly a 6-month break from driving. Rhys Gardner finding these northern roads unfamiliar, not quite able to match his Otago pace, but in these conditions, who could blame him? But Glenn Inkster having to stop and losing over 30 minutes on this stage. So at the refuel stop in Paihia, it's Cox who leads under protest for that 10-second penalty. Holder just behind, Galbraith in 3rd, then Summerfield and Gilmore.
Darren trying to tell Dave Holder how to drive that stage fast, eh?
Yeah, it's surprising because the first stage felt a lot better than that, and we wasn't that confident with the time through there. It's quite tricky and muddy and tight, which I don't really like normally. So yeah, it's quite surprised by the time, to be honest.
Dave, completely different conditions to Otago, but you're still lapping it up.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging out there. Looking for your braking point, you're sort of a wee bit nervous, but no, it's good, and the car's working really well in the wet, which is great.
Matt, you're enjoying it out there?
Yeah, no, it's been good this morning. The driving has been a few bits of gold and some of it's been a bit trash, but we'll keep working on it.
Sloan, 10-second penalty coming out of the first service.
Yeah, we saw that we didn't get directed by the marshals. We didn't know where the timeout control was, so then we turned back around. We had another marshal trying to block us from going back, so it ended up being a bit of a disaster.
But obviously, without all that, you'd be leading the event right now.
Oh yeah, having a good time, Jess. Well, that's good that my time is still up there. Weather a bit challenging, but it's the same for everyone.
Yeah, the conditions are all right. It's wet, and isn't that what rallying is sort of supposed to be? So that's not a problem. It's just we can't see. The car's got so much water in it, and it's so hot. It's just fogging up in the first couple of 100 metres of the stage, and then you're looking through little tiny holes for the rest of it. So that's the bit that I'm not liking so much, and so you can't make the most of it, unfortunately.
Another 2 stages before service, and the first is Tapuhi, 17.2 kilometres. A popular spectator junction on this stage, and with the rain easing, David Holder making his move and taking the lead over Sloane Cox. Cox pushing hard though in the big Evo 10, just not as fast through the tight, twisty middle part of the stage. He would drop 10 seconds behind Holder. Darren Galbraith holding on to 3rd position. He was 10.5 seconds slower than Holder. Once again, the AP4 Hyundai having an advantage in the twisty section. Andrew Hawkswood punctured on this stage but drove out. However, he was passed towards the end by Matt Summerfield, who was probably thankful that the rain meant no dust.
And Andrew will know he's bleeding time. He knows this puncture has cost him. But the conditions being like they are, at least both drivers will be able to see each other, because if this was dusty, Matt would be stuck behind Andrew for the rest of the stage.
And in these conditions, the challenge is always reading the road, as Emma Gilmore finds out here.
And when you look at this road, you may see the mud, see the water, but when rally drivers look at this, they look at braking points, they look at thin tyre tracks and narrow margins of error. These are challenging conditions.
Dylan Turner closing to within 5 seconds of Gilmore on the stage.
You know what, Brownie? Crowd in the background, Audi flying through here. This feels like the good old days of the WRC again.
And long may we bring it back. Stage 6 Helena was the power stage, although a stage with bad memories for Ben Hunt.
Helena Bay is my favourite stage in all of New Zealand, but at the same time it's also probably my scariest stage, and every time I say the name it still gives me goosebumps, because obviously last year, 5th stage, big crash, 5.5 Gs, and put Tony and I in hospital and got to ride an awesome helicopter. But you know, back then the car, we had the same sort of issues that we were facing at Otago this year.
Well, this year Ben threw it all okay. But big issues for David Holder, who had damaged his power steering at the end of stage 5. The Hyundai proving to be difficult to drive, and he would lose 55 seconds.
Yeah, so when you lose power steering in these cars, it's not like just having a car with no power steering. It's basically like turning the key off on your car with power steering and trying to drive. So everything's fighting against you, and basically I just had to try and drive the car straight down the road and not get it sideways, which is really hard for a rally driver. As soon as it gets sideways, the whole car would snap and smack your arm on the door, or yeah, it was just a really tough job. We got to the end of the stage, and it's not often you say to your co-driver, I'm really happy we didn't get past in there. So that was quite a cool feeling, that we only lost a minute and did our best, and I think I need to do a bit more workout at the gym.
Matt Summerfield did attack the stage though and drove exceptionally well to take the power stage win. His time, 11 minutes 25.9. Sloane Cox pushing hard too, but his stage time 12 seconds slower than Summerfield, so that puts Summerfield into the NZRC lead by 3.6 seconds.
Finish 250.
Graham Featherston took the second place power stage points. Dylan Turner just 1.8 seconds behind him to take third place points. Galbraith fourth fastest and holding on to his third position. So after 6 stages, Matt Summerfield with a 3.6 second lead over Sloane Cox and then Galbraith. Turner moves past Gilmore to 4th, while David Holder drops to 6th.
Matt, you got the winning feeling?
Yeah, it's definitely been a good morning for us. Helped out by a few other dramas, but yeah, it's definitely been cool for us. Been pushing on pretty hard, and it's awesome to see me and Darren up the front, both from Christchurch. We're both doing it low budgets in the older cars, so yeah, pretty happy with that.
Darren, you're showing lots of pace last year in Cat 5, but now up to Cat 1, sitting second overall.
Yeah, more than happy with where we are. Very surprised to be where we are, given that the roads don't really suit my driving style, these tight stuff. So we're actually looking forward to tomorrow to the faster stuff. So, but yeah, I'd say surprised with our times.
Andrew, disaster in stage 5.
Yeah, no, we picked up a puncture in there. We actually smashed the wheel, so it's cost us dearly. Took a while to figure out what was wrong with it, and then it's too late to change it. We had to just drive it out.
Sloane, a couple of dramas coming into stage 6.
Yeah, on the way to stage 6 in touring, managed to pop the drive bat off. It was a bit frustrating, but luckily we carry a spare one because it happened before. But it's pretty tight on the touring after that. We made it to the time control on our minute actually, and then 15 seconds to go, I was still putting my gloves on. So it was a bit of a rush moment, but we got through nicely and we're here now.
You're second fastest in stage 5.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, I wasn't really expecting to be that quick, but some of us might have had problems and stuff. So, we're not worrying too much about the times at the moment. It's just learning the car, and hopefully we get to the end and we have a good result. Get the car to the finish. She's an Audi. We want her on the finish line.
One of the most recognisable cars in the rally is Dave Thexton's blue Subaru, and there's a long connection with the name of the car.
I decided to buy Possible Motorsport because it had gone bankrupt essentially, and I go way back with Possum. We learned to drive together, and our kids went to school together. Tom went to school with Taylor, and we all lived in Pukekohe and everything. And I was actually helping the previous owner out in the business, and it failed. And I thought, I can't let this business go out of business. It's just been around for too long. Possum was a legacy, and somebody had to do something about it. So my wife and I bought it. That was the only reasoning behind it. And it still survives, and it's doing really well today.
And like every father and son pairing, how long will it be before Thomas moves into the right seat?
It'll happen one day. You know, there's no rush. It'll come, and I'd quite like to do it myself. You know, buy a little Civic or something along the lines of something I can sort of throw around, and if I bang a few, you know, curbs or banks or whatever, as I'm sure will happen, it's not going to cost, you know, thousands to fix or whatever. You know, it's just going to be sort of stress-free, and while I cut my teeth at it, there's not really too much risk.
And talking about young guns, there was a great battle in the young guns of the K2 class. Dylan Thompson had led after special stage 3, but a puncture on stage 5 saw him lose 2.5 minutes.
We're going to lose well over a minute.
Do you want to just drive out then?
I can't. I'm losing over a minute now. Quick. Put hazard on.
Another family pairing, Robbie Stoke and his sister Amy, had led on stage 2, but now back in second. Max Dragilga's taking the class lead after stage 5. But bad luck for Ari Pettigrew, who lost power steering pump on stage 3 and had to retire for the day.
Into short 6 and this is another cruel result for Ari. He's shown so much speed here in Otago, but he just can't get it to the finish line.
Repeat turn 2 left, into 3 right plus line.
The open two-wheel drive class saw the debut of the RX-8 of Marcus van Klink. Good flame too. But it was another screaming Mimi, the escort of Anthony Jones, who held the class lead over the morning. Brent Taylor struck problems though with a broken drive shaft and limped out with one-wheel drive. Late in the day, Jones and Van Klink also withdrew, leaving the Suzuki Turbo of Jack Williamson the only finisher. As even the Hillman Hunter of Jeff Ward had struck problems on stage 1. The morning stages were now repeated, and while the rain had eased, the road conditions had actually got worse for the leading drivers. Sloane Cox laid down a challenge to Matt Summerfield, put in a time of 17 minutes 09.3, 20 seconds faster than the stage in the morning.
And it's amazing how fast you can go when you can see the road. The navigator may be calling pace notes, but some drivers need to see it to believe it.
Summerfield also faster than the morning stages, but still 8 seconds slower than Cox here, and that dropped him back to second in the NZRC.
And it's interesting that it was the older Group N-based cars that have held the advantage today.
And with Galbraith third now and another older car. But of the new boys, Dylan Turner still fourth. There was an impressive debut for his car, the Audi S1, in such trying conditions.
And he's trying too.
David Holder doing his best to make up that lost minute. He was fastest on the stage, but only by 6.5 seconds, so still a lot to make up. It did make up one place though, as Emma Gilmore hit a rock on the stage. She retired for the day with broken suspension. She was in good company too with Andrew Hawkswood, also forced to retire with a broken drivetrain. So Dave Strong made the most of his V6 power to move up to 8th. Reece Gardner also moving up a place here. And Job Quantock making his presence felt, moving up into the top 10. But Ben Hunt's problems continued. This time a turbo issue dropping him over a minute, but doing the right thing and moving over to let Graham Featherston pass.
6 left past junction.
Greg Murphy's team had solved the fogging issue inside the car, but his afternoon was also cut short. Stage 9 offered no respite, with the road slippery after the morning pass. In the seesaw battle for the lead, Matt Summerfield took control again. His time of 13 minutes 01.4, enough to move him back to the front of the field. But it was an inspired drive by David Holder that saw him fastest on the stage as his team watched on. And that would take him to second in the NZRC, now just 16 seconds behind Summerfield. Darren Galbraith still holding on to third. But Sloane Cox losing 23 seconds to Summerfield, and that would drop him to 4th place now. And the week before his 70th birthday, Brian Green now moved up to 10th place in the Mirage. And while the conditions weren't ideal for the leaders, they were downright miserable for those in the back part of the field. David Thexton and his co-driver son Thomas really struggling to find any grip, running 35th on the road with rain now started up and light fading.
Long 4 left. 5 left.
This
60.
is the worst. Not to rally, the conditions. This is worse than the jungles of Papua New Guinea. By the time we come through, because we're running about 35 on the road or something, some of the ditches are 12 inches deep. Running down the middle of the road, it's just the worst ever.
Horrible, that.
The final stage was Helena, and the conditions really worsened, catching out all the drivers as the heavy rain cloud brought on an early twilight. Summerfield made it through to hold the lead, though. But Cox was caught out in the stage for the second year in a row. Dylan Turner won the stage, and David Holder retired with engine issues. So Turner moved to second ahead of Galbraith, who was now third. Gardner survived to take fourth ahead of Job Quantock. While Graham Featherston cautiously made his way and was rewarded with sixth. Dave Strong also solid through here to take seventh. And Dylan Thompson showing that in these conditions power isn't everything. Seventh on this stage in his Fiesta. So after a tough day, Matt Summerfield takes the day one win with the maximum 12 points on offer. But what a difference one stage can make. Turner, Galbraith, Gardner and Quantock now making up the top 5.
Matty, how's it been out in the stages here today?
Absolutely unreal, eh? The conditions that we're trying to drive in is just the first time for me driving in ruts that basically like train tracks for the car, just holding it on the road. So unfortunately it's done a little bit of damage to the car, but we'll see if the boys can fix it from here.
Dylan, how good is it to have an Audi on the podium?
It's awesome. I think it's been a long time, hasn't it, since we had an Audi in the NZRC, and it's yeah, we're over the moon. I mean, some others might have had a bit of misfortune. We might have got it a bit lucky, but you know, it's been a good day. It's been a trying day. It's been a hard day, learning day, but you know, really happy to be back on the podium in the NZRC.
And you were second, but just lost in the last stage.
Yeah, that last stage was very tricky. She was dark and wet and mud and everything. I just backed it off. Well, another day tomorrow. I didn't worth throwing off the road for that. So, yeah, Dylan's managed to get in front of us by 5 or something, but that's fine. Like I say, we didn't expect that anyway, so it's fine.
In the Gull Rally Challenge one-day event, Doug Adnett finished third in his BMW Coupe. While others fell off the road, Daniel Alexander stayed on it to take second. And class rookie Christopher Gracie brought his Honda home in first place and picked up the gold trophy for the best drive of the day. The four-wheel drive division had been dominated by Matt Jensen in his Evo 9 until the conditions got the better of him.
Right minus, 50, 4 right. Oh. 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 You're right. Yeah.
And that car won't be going any further. That's one way to really stop your rally. And that put Warwick Redford into the lead in the ex-Turner Mitsubishi. Adam Bly in second, just 57 seconds back. And Matt Adams having a great run to third in his older Mitsubishi Group A car. But Jonathan Shapley takes the points lead in the challenge with another fourth place finish. And the final finisher, Richard Rao in a Mazda 323.
Welcome back to Day 2 International Rally of Whangarei. The weather conditions are completely different, but that doesn't mean the pressure is off. We're talking to Matt Summerfield, rally leader, and mate, the pressure is on for your crew this morning.
Yeah, definitely. The boys are going flat out now, trying to change these extractors on the car, so hopefully they're the right ones for a start. We need to get the old ones off the car now and see if we've got the right ones sitting on the bench here to do the job.
10 minutes, guys, 10 minutes.
3 stages today, repeated twice. The first is Waipu Caves. And Dylan Turner's first away, so that means the Summerfields are late out of the service.
And for every minute the Summerfields are late out of service, they'll receive a 10-second penalty. And those are going to start adding up, and they'll put them well back at the start of this day.
Galbraith next away, so that's more time lost for Matt. Today is a new day for bonus points, but they still compete for overall honours for the weekend and the big points game. So it's Andrew Hawkswood looking to win Day 2 after missing the finish on Day 1. A good start, he was fastest so far.
And Andrew is looking sharp, direct, and showing us some masterful driving in this stage.
Emma Gilmore also hoping to pick up a day win and some valuable points in the Suzuki.
5 left, hug, 6
And already Emma looks off. Her driving just doesn't have as much purpose as Andrew did. I wonder if there may be a problem in this car.
And she was slower too, losing 22 seconds to Hawkswood already. Matt Summerfield finally getting to the start 5 minutes late, so he would carry a 50-second penalty now. Good start though, he was fastest of the stage despite a narrow escape. But with that penalty now, 9th on Day 2 standings, dropped him to 2nd place overall behind Dylan Turner for the weekend. Graham Featherston in a good position to score well overall. He was 3rd on the stage, still top 5. Glenn Inkster also back for Day 2. He'd completed Day 1, but was outside the 30 minutes lateness allowed.
And the rules clearly state you cannot have more than 30 minutes lateness at any individual control. But Glenn still completed the day, got some miles under his belt, and he'll be looking forward to putting a good finish in for day 2.
That's it. Good boy. Thank you. Down here we got a care 5 left. It looks slippy into a 4+ right long.
Despite finishing day 1, Ben Hunt was still down at 27th place. His best hope today was to climb back into the top 10 and score some points. After a disappointing short day on Saturday, Josh Marston had regrouped and was back on the stages in the Barina. But now he was plagued with windscreen fogging up.
And this is the exact same problem that Murph had in the other Holden yesterday. Because if you can't see, you can't drive fast.
Over crest, tightens to 6.
Reece Gardner in a good position to score points too, lying 4th overall. Sloane Cox's car only lightly damaged in that unfortunate end of the day crash. He was on the pace straight away and 4th fastest for the NZRC cars, just 5 seconds slower than Summerfield.
And 7 left, tighten 6. And 8 right, 10. 6 right, short and...
Job Quantock still 6th overall. Good experience before he takes over the Hyundai at Canterbury. He actually led Dave Strong, even though Strong's car suited these conditions with its V6 power. Just 4 classics at this rally. Tony Gosling leading on day 1.
Oh, 5 right.
Despite losing his wiper in the rain, he still managed to score a direct hit on the signage on his way to winning the class on both days. Nothing like keeping the sponsors happy. John Silcock not able to match the escort in these trying conditions, so he finished 2nd again. Paul Fraser bringing his escort home in 3rd. And the veterans of the class, Mike and Helen Cameron, finishing both days in their very original Mitsubishi Lancer. Stage 12 Waio Tora and another 16-kilometre sprint. Dylan Turner throwing everything at the stage as he became more comfortable with the Audi S1 AP4 car. But after all his dramas, Summerfield was really determined to get back that rally lead. He'd previously suffered bad luck through mechanical failure, but today there was no stopping the Rangiora kid. 9 minutes, 47.3, enough to take him back into the NZRC lead for the weekend. But it was tight, just 17 seconds separating Summerfield in 1st and Galbraith in 3rd. Hawkswood had finally found his gloves and was now duking it out with Featherstone in the day 2 points. The Mazda ahead by 11 seconds. Glenn Inkster was another 9 seconds back in 3rd.
That's a blunt 3 minus right. We now have a flat 7 plus left 70, very long 8 left, then a very long 8 left, and a long 5 plus right. Opens flat over small 70, long 7 plus right 50.
Tangihua, the last stage of the morning, 15.39 kilometres. Matt Summerfield continued to stretch his overall rally lead, now 13 seconds over Dylan Turner. while Andrew Hawkswood extended his Day 2 lead, now 25 seconds over Featherston. But more disappointment for Josh Marston.
Long 5 right.
Oh, I've got no power steering.
Hey?
I've got no power steering.
Oh, 80.
Oh.
Crest 7. Crest 7
And with
left.
nothing to gain but a gym workout, he would retire on this stage. So Day 2 standing sees Andrew Hawkswood from Graham Featherston, Dylan Turner passing Glenn Inkster for 4th, but at service the rain is falling again.
Matt managed to get it out of service this morning?
Yeah, we had a bit of a penalty. The boys did an awesome job though to get the car out, so we're just we set about trying to claw the gap back to Dylan and pushing the limits pretty hard to do it, so we're back in front, which we're really happy with.
So just 3 stages to run. Despite the rain, these former WRC roads hold up very well. Hawkswood making sure that he would leave with some points in these conditions as AP4 Mazda better suited than Graham Featherston's old Evo 7, and he was able to pull away to nearly 40 seconds for the day.
And Andrew's actually built both of these cars, but there's more than a decade between them. And I think the technology in the newer Mazda AP4 is really starting to show.
Dylan Turner slowing with a little bit of a brake issue over the afternoon, but he had enough pace to keep hold of 2nd overall in the rally. Summerfield could have been satisfied with the overall win, but on the first stage of the afternoon he pushed and put himself into 3rd for the day, just a 2nd behind Featherston.
And it's a big risk for Matt to be pushing this late in the rally, but it is a strategic move. He will be thinking about the points and about the whole championship.
And you were right too, Paddy, because it turns out that Emma Gilmore had a steering rack issue, a result of her Day 1 crash, and that slowed her through the afternoon.
80 straight 2, 7 right.
Sloane Cox able to pass Gilmore and move to 4th for the day. But more bad luck for Glenn Inkster. Another engine issue seeing him retire. While Brian Green also retired after breaking a drive shaft. Ari Pettigrew repaired his car for Day 2, so important for these young drivers in the 2-wheel drive class to get as much experience as possible. He finished the day despite this moment.
1 right. 30.
Oh, and that's a classic front-wheel drive error. But he's got enough sense to keep the boot in it and drive his way out.
Really was a learning curve for the youngster. Robbie Stokes was 3rd in class until the penultimate stage when his suspension broke. The final battle for the day, though, was close. Tregilgas held the lead early on Sunday. But was overhauled by Dylan Thompson late in the day. Thompson taking the class by 11 seconds. And Jack Williamson, the final and only finisher in the open 2-wheel drive class, to take the lead in that class. So one final stage and a fitting finish to the Rally of Whangarei, which had seen its share of highs and lows. Andrew Hawkswood taking Day 2 honours and probably disappointed not to have been fighting for the overall victory. But it's been 18 months since Matt and Nicole Summerfield scored their first championship rally win, and they had fought hard here, overcoming mechanical issues but holding on for a popular NZRC round victory.
Matt, tell me, how good does this feel, mate?
It's unreal, it's just such a credit to the boys, for sticking through a hard campaign so far already. everyone's just done a mega job. I don't even know what to say.
And a fantastic debut too for Dylan Turner, who threw everything in his new car and comes away with the confidence that his team can challenge for the championship. With a patched-together engine which was drinking water, Darren Galbraith showed great patience to hold his car together for third place. Results then for Day 2 of Rally Whangarei. Hawkeswood, Featherston, Summerfield, Cox and Turner take the bonus points, and McGillmore just missing out. And in the International Rally of Whangarei, it was the APRC Scooters of Gill and Baby who topped the times. But Matt Summerfield wins his second NZRC rally round over a minute over the Audi of Dylan Turner.
Stunning result, mate.
Yeah, unbelievable. Just a massive credit to the team for sticking through. It's been a while since we had the win in 2015, so to come up here, it's just a bucket list to win this rally, and yeah, just can't thank the guys enough. Awesome result.
And to claw back to third for the day as well, absolutely great.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. We just focused on the battle with Dylan, and third for the day was a result of that. It's awesome.
Let's see what that does to the points then. Graham Featherston now leads on 51 from Summerfield, Dylan Turner moving up to third and Reece Gardner in fourth. Remember, for full rally results, go to chrissport.co.nz. And next up, we're back down south to Christchurch for the Lone Star Rally of Canterbury, the first of our one-day sprint events. We'll see you then when we get it sideways.